Just days before nuclear talks with the US and global powers, Iran made a bold move. They didn't just send diplomats. They sent missiles. According to intel sources, Iran has transferred long-range ballistic missiles to Iraqi militias, a signal that diplomacy and firepower are now running in parallel. Let's break it down. What's behind this dual-track strategy? And how should the world interpret Iran's latest move? Chapter 1. The timing is no accident. Nuclear talks were scheduled for the weekend. And just 72 hours before they began, Tehran quietly armed proxy forces in Iraq with long-range missiles capable of striking U.S. bases, Israeli targets, or Saudi infrastructure. This wasn't a blunder. This was leverage. Iran is sending a message. We're here to negotiate, but we're also ready for war. Sources suggest this transfer occurred under the radar of Iraqi government control, using cargo routes long believed to be operated by the IRGC's Quds Force, the covert foreign operations arm of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Satellite imagery and intercepted communications confirm multiple convoys crossing into western Iraq in recent days. This indicates not only strategic timing, but deep operational planning. Chapter 2. Who got the missiles? The recipients? Iran-backed militias across Iraq, including Kataib Hezbollah, Asaib Ahl al-Haq, Harakat Hezbollah al-Nujaba. These are not random factions. They are Tehran's most loyal foot soldiers in Iraq, and they operate with semi-official impunity. With long-range weapons, they now have the capacity to hit U.S. military installations, threaten Israel from two fronts, target Gulf oil fields. According to leaked intelligence from regional allies, the missiles delivered are likely variants of the Fateh 1110 and Zulfikar class, with ranges between 300 and 700 kilometers. Some analysts fear Iran may be supplying modified precision-guided systems, capable of striking critical infrastructure with high accuracy. This dramatically alters the threat landscape in the region. Chapter 3. The Diplomacy Deception Dilemma. On the surface, Iran is playing ball. Officials flew to Oman. Counter-offers were exchanged. Back-channel messages are being relayed. But in the shadows, escalation. This is classic Iranian hybrid strategy. Negotiate at the table. Escalate in the field. It keeps adversaries off balance. It gives Tehran bargaining chips without appearing openly hostile. And if diplomacy fails, the missiles are already in place. The pattern is clear. Iran used this exact playbook in 2015, prior to the original JCPOA deal. While appearing cooperative in Vienna, weapons flowed into Syria and Lebanon. Now, the strategy is being rerun, but this time with far less restraint. Chapter 4. How the U.S. and Israel see it. Washington's response has been muted. For now, sources say the Pentagon is monitoring developments and preparing contingency options. Israel? Not so quiet. Senior officials reportedly warned, missile transfers before diplomacy are not peace, they're blackmail. Expect Israeli intel operations to kick into high gear. Airstrikes on missile caches in Iraq are now a real possibility. Former Israeli defense officials point out that this is a red line moment. Tel Aviv views any attempt to encircle it with Iranian proxies as a casus belli, a legitimate cause for military preemption. In fact, several unconfirmed reports suggest Israeli drones have already begun reconnaissance flights over suspected missile sites near Al-Qaim and Kirkuk. Chapter 5. Why Iran's doing this now? Why escalate before talks? Because Iran knows the U.S. wants to avoid war. Israel's hands are partially tied by global diplomacy. The world is distracted by Ukraine, Taiwan, and economic shocks. It's about creating deterrence through ambiguity. Iran wants to walk into the negotiating room with quiet firepower behind its back. Not to use it, but to make sure everyone sees it. And it's also about domestic optics. After months of protests and economic decline, the Iranian regime needs to project strength. Transferring missiles to foreign allies allows Tehran to appear unshaken, a regional power with reach. Chapter 6. Where this goes next. If diplomacy succeeds, expect Iran to use the missiles as a gesture of goodwill, maybe even agree to withdraw them. If diplomacy fails,
the rockets are locked, loaded, and already in range.
This dual-track playbook isn't new, but the stakes are higher than ever. As nuclear tensions spike, Tehran's strategy is crystal clear. Talk nice, but carry a very long-range missile.